Hey, it's Barry Online. The First Amendment gives us the right to free speech. Well, that is, as long as you agree with the far left and everything they stand for. I've alluded to this in several of my podcasts. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, as long as it aligns with the far left. And as long as you hate Donald Trump and everything that he's doing, including the decreased taxes and larger pay cuts. It's just awful to have more money in my pocket every day. I get it. Kanye West is the next victim on the block. The poor guy has been lambasted in the media. The courts have identified three types of free speech. The first one is pure speech, which is verbal thoughts and opinions to a voluntary audience. That's pretty free from government regulation, unless you're a Christian on Facebook, and then that's pretty much taken away or reduced. That's another podcast for another time. Plus, that's like demonstrations and protests as well as words. There's little more government restriction here because of the physical violence that can occur. I had a friend of mine in California that was hit, shoved, and his cell phone fell down, and a protester stepped on it and cracked it up pretty bad. Was that the protester's free speech right in action? I don't think so. And the third free speech is symbolic speech, and this involves symbols like armbands or burning a flag and that sort of stuff. But why do so many free speechers on the far left and right attack so aggressively? I realize many are very passionate about their opinions and rights. I am too. But the last 5 years or so have brought on a system of attacking first and listening second, if at all. The agenda becomes, you better not oppose me or I'll call you out and I'll come after you. I'll put so many labels on you that you don't know what to do except to shut up. And what I've seen is the far left are way better at fighting than the right. And generally speaking, the right is obviously more conservative and thus generally more considerate. Some might say passive-aggressive, some might just say passive or wimpy. For me as a Christian, there's another label for you. I have some pretty passionate beliefs about my faith and our society as well. But who am I to jam that down anyone's throats? But I'll be dad blamed if I can't share my own opinions and thoughts. This is America. America. But why is it only okay to share your opinion if it matches Hollywood, the liberal media, and big government politics? If my agenda doesn't match yours, I'm attacked with all kinds of labels, every label that you can find. Why in the world is Kanye West being crucified so much in the media? He's on TV, online, the poor guy's everywhere, and they're saying he's mentally ill. And he's going to influence his fan base in a bad way. All for basically wearing a signed Make America Great Again hat. And for shooting off a few semi-conservative tweets. Here are just a few of them. He says, "And also, I'm all the way out the sunken place. And I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared of the media. I'm not scared of the past. And I'm optimistic about the future. This tweet is in love, not fear." Ooh, what a bad guy. "With love, I am invincible. Truth is subjective. But love is the most powerful force in the world, and the world needs to express more of it." Yeah, that's really bad. Another one. "I said express love more because we have love, but we don't express it. My friend T. Mills will always say I love you, and that used to make me feel weird to hear that. Now I tell everyone I love them. He sparked me to start expressing love more." And here's the last one. "You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals. And we have the right to independent thought." Well, that's pretty interesting. Kanye sounds like a really bad guy who is definitely mentally ill. Come on, man. We all have differing opinions, but again, the left mob comes and attacks anything that even remotely goes against their beliefs. Kanye West's wife, Kim Kardashian, tweeted, "Now when he spoke out about Trump, most people, including myself, have very different feelings and opinions about this, but this is his opinion. I believe in people being able to have their own opinions, even if they really different from mine." Kanye's buddy John Legends sent a text to Kanye expressing his concern about the apparent mental breakdown. He says, "As you know, what you say really means something to your fans. They are loyal to you and respect your opinion. So many people who love you feel so betrayed right now because they know the harm that Trump's policies cause, especially to people of color. Don't let this be part of your legacy. You're the greatest artist of our generation." Kanye texts back, I love you, John, and I appreciate your thoughts. You bringing up my fans or my legacy is a tactic based on fear used to manipulate my free thought. John Legend says, think freely, think with empathy and context too. Your words and actions have consequences. Much love. And then he goes on, and since you're posting text, let me add that I have a new single out. Haha. Kanye says, haha, I love you, John. John Legends is a class act. That is the way that you are to express your concern and opinion and disagreement with someone. John Legends approached the issue with love and concern and kindness. That's fresh, folks. Do you disagree with Kanye? No problem. But have some class, people. That's what my podcast show is all about. I certainly don't expect everyone to agree with my stance, but some of the hateful comments I've received are not based in civility, let alone love or kindness. People assume a lot about me. And you know what? We assume a lot about each other, and that's not entirely healthy. The coarse language a few select listeners have shared with me are so condescending and inappropriate, showing little thought to honest and respectable dialogue. One comment on YouTube, I had to delete it because of its vulgarity, and I hate deleting comments, but that's okay. They have the right to do that. My agenda is to try and be as respectful as possible, while also challenging people's perspective. The benefit of the doubt is a motto that I do my best to live by. However, the left agenda proponents keep pushing the envelope further and further, and many of them are evangelizing their agenda with fierce aggression, and they're not allowing anyone to even hint at challenging them. In fact, it's typically expected that we not only agree with them, but fully support and promote what they believe. That's crazy talk, folks. People are not mentally ill for supporting Trump, nor are they mentally ill for being fans of the Kardashians. Well, no, I'm just kidding. Of course not. A conservative mindset does not mean that one is mentally ill, nor does the far left approach mean that you're off your rocker either. Poor Kanye has been labeled a darling of the alt-right. That's basically a group of white nationalists that basically hate everyone who isn't white. Last I checked, Kanye is still black, very black. So being a darling of the alt-right is kind of a stretch, and it's just aggressive attacks on someone famous who doesn't align with their thinking. And that's, for the most part, intolerance. What do you think? Is Kanye mentally ill for agreeing with some of what Trump is doing? Not all by any stretch, just some. Is the approach from many on the left appropriate? Is name-calling, labeling, and viciously attacking those who disagree with them a proper approach? Let me know. Let's see if we can have a civil, respectful, and personally non-attacking conversation rooted in love, the love of mankind, as the backdrop. Then again, that doesn't seem possible for many of us, including conservatives. And as always, I hope you can find grace in having your opinions and speak up and be bold, but don't be a jerk. There's always two sides to a story. Until you know all the facts, which you likely never will, you can't hurt people because of your passions in love, in faith, and in free speech. Until next time, God bless. Barry Online is a new podcast giving some insight and perspective on how to respond and react to what's trending in social media, Hollywood, and even your neighbors. Subscribe today to get your weekly insight.